Okay.
Welcome, my Midnight Riders. Welcome. We're coming at you guys on our fourth episode.
Yeah, fourth episode.
Yep.
If you could throw the timer on for 28 minutes.
Yep.
And
quick disclaimer here: if you have any kids, any sensitive ears, any snowflakes, you guys very well may be offended. You know, because we like to hit on a lot of hot subjects, a lot of politically correct, subjects, and we're not politically correct. We say it how it is. And let me hit us up with this timer so we can hit.
While he's doing that, I actually have a chipped tooth, so I'm not going to be talking as much on this episode as I normally would. I don't think I need to anyway. My dude right here has got this.
Yeah, so this episode again, if you have any kids, any snowflakes that may be offended on some subjects that we're going to talk about here today, we would appreciate your comments down low, but really don't care what you have to say.
Who would we like to reach out to, man? We've got a couple of guys that we really want to reach out to. What was that one?
What we want to hit on in this fourth episode was our message about others, because
right.
I follow a lot of dudes out here. I mean, Dan Bongino, Valor Ridge, Alex Jones, and I have been encoding.
Valor Ridge, that's the one. Yeah, we really got to get in contact with that guy. Hey, just a quick shout out to our boy Rush Limbaugh. Please rest in peace. It is a great loss. I've been listening to that dude since I was about 10 years old, man.
Yeah.
For real, we send our deepest gratitude to your family.
Yeah.
And to everything that he's done.
Our thoughts and prayers.
Exactly. A great man was lost in American history here.
One of the pioneers.
One of the pioneers, right? The pioneers.
Movement.
And I can tell you, the only problem that I ever had with Rush Limbaugh was that he just was never willing to call out. He always called for peace, and he always had this optimistic idea.
Well, that's what it was, right?
Right.
Optimism. He thought that that
He-
we would prevail.
Right. He never thought that America was going to fail. And I think that this is probably where I differ with him greatly, is because I think that America has already failed.
Yeah.
I think that we're actually on our downward swing.
And it's funny you say that because, right, you got that good cop, bad cop mentality, right?
Right.
And I would say I'm much more along with, Valor Ridge, right? These guys that really think that America would prevail, right? I think that there's enough guys out there like Calion Noir, right? Alex Jones, right? I just heard him yesterday. How he's really talking about how, maybe Alex Jones may be a little more on the side of you, right? That America is done.
Well, he's
right?
so controversial. He really has so many conspiracy theories that I don't think a lot of people can actually take him seriously.
Yeah.
He's always talking about Freemasons this and... dude, I'm a Freemason.
And you're a Freemason?
Right, I'm a Freemason, and I can absolutely tell you that we are not the ones running the world. Right? All of the Freemasons that are left are so old they can't find their dicks. Right? So, really, it's actually almost upsetting when I listen to Alex Jones because he has so many great ideas, but it's just backed by pure bullshit. And then on top of that, he wants to sell his fucking formulas, and it's like, goddamn, dude, I don't want to fucking,
Well, it's like we were just talking, right? This is what sets us apart.
Yeah.
From those kinds of people, right? Because we're not the type of dudes that we're gonna sugarcoat, right?
Right.
Our message, right? We're not gonna say read history.
Right.
We're not gonna say peaceful this and that, right?
Well,
we're gonna really tell you.
Well, right.
How it is, right?
Instead of telling people to read history, we're going to tell people what actually happened in history.
Yeah.
Right? Because we already know that people don't have the intelligence to read a history book, right?
Yeah.
And even if they did, they wouldn't interpret it the right way anyway. Look at religion, dude. Look at modern day religion, how many different interpretations there are of the same exact message.
Dude, but wait, hold on.
The Constitution.
But did I ever tell you that time where, like, my brother, my older brother, right? He was into this fellowship, right? And their whole message, right? And, you know, I mean, I was raised as a Catholic, right? I went to Catholic schools and all, right? And I understand the message, right? But when I started going to these indoctrination camps, I'll call them straight up as they were.
Ah.
You know, I mean, they were saying this is what it says in the Bible,
Yeah.
but this is what it translates to, and I really wasn't on board with that.
Right. Right.
You know, I wasn't really on board with somebody else telling me in plain English, right? This says this,
Right.
but it really means that.
So you weren't open to their interpretation
No,
of plain written words.
I wasn't.
Right. And so this is kind of the problem we're seeing with the American Constitution, right?
You're right.
We've got one side that interprets it, even though it's not written that way. They somehow they interpret it as being this subliminal message that they want it to be,
Yeah.
while another side actually looks at it in black and white
Yeah.
and in pure written form
Yeah.
and says, okay, there's really not any other way to interpret it other than the way that it is, right? I mean, your right to bear arms shall not be infringed.
Dude,
Right.
that's plain English.
Right.
Right?
You've seen all these memes out there where they've got like bears, right? Grizzly bears, right? Bear arms. Right? So, I mean, but seriously, how does a group of people, and I get it, man, Old English is a hard language to understand. You know, most people don't understand that the English language is a Germanic language, right? It was actually a code language that the Hessians used to speak in. And then obviously England came about and created, you know, Oxford English and all this kind of stuff. But Old English, it is a trickier language to understand. It's more similar to Oxford English. But it's still very, very clear when it comes to pointing out certain things. Right? Like our First Amendment, right? We shall have the freedom to express our what is it? I don't know
what
what
we're doing right here. You know?
This right here is
Freedom
a
of
constitutional
speech,
amendment.
freedom of
Right.
religion.
Freedom of speech, freedom of
Right?
religion, freedom of
We're
expression,
not
freedom
calling
of the press.
fire in a motherfucking movie theater.
Right.
Right?
But even if we were, how is that against the First Amendment?
Well, a lot of people would,
I mean, dude, hate speech, right?
Oh,
we
man.
talk about this a lot, hate speech. How can you have a law that is against a thought? Right? That's what hate speech is. Hate speech isn't an actual crime. It's not a physical crime. It is a law against a thought. To me, that is against the First Amendment.
Yeah.
But
We've talked a
somehow,
lot about this.
yeah, somehow people have interpreted this to be, you know, some sort of an escape or a way to get around the Constitution, and I don't get it.
Well, that's exactly what it is. A way to get around the Constitution, right? Because the Constitution, I mean, if you read it, plain English, and you have all these Supreme Court justices,
Right.
all these fucking Democrats trying to reinterpret plain English. I mean, it's literally written in English. It's not like the Bible that was translated
Right.
from,
15 different times from 15
from
different
Hebrew.
things. Right.
It really isn't. I mean, and to tell you the truth, this is our message today, right? I'm sorry, I got little podcast messages right here, but this is not our business, right?
Right.
Our business, as you've seen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're builders. We build houses. You know, we remodel houses.
Yeah.
We build decks.
We are
you know, like-
completely self-employed. We are completely
Yeah.
self-reliant. Our business does not revolve around internet podcasts or
Yeah.
radio talk show. We are not like, you know, again, I love Rush Limbaugh. Dude, I've been listening to him for 30 years.
Jeez.
I love Alex Jones. I love Glenn Beck. I love I love Mark Levin.
I love Mark Levin.
Yeah.
You know, that's my main dude.
Right.
Mark Levin, Dan Bongino.
But these guys,
but
their entire livelihood revolves around talking on radio.
that's their business, right?
That's their business.
This
And
is where they
why
make their
they're
money.
afraid.
Yeah.
This is why they're afraid to actually speak out and
Yeah.
kind of rise up a little bit
Yeah.
against the norm.
Yeah.
This is not our business, so we're not afraid
Yeah.
of creating waves, right? We're not
Yeah.
afraid of putting down our thoughts.
And that's what's going to separate us from the crowd, right?
I hope so.
I mean, to tell you the truth, we talk about this all the time. We go out to lunch every day, man. We see all these people, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to, bring people to this ideology that
Right.
we have, right?
Yeah.
This self-sufficiency ideology. And you know what? I mean, people, when we mention it to them, you see their eyes, you
Yeah.
know, kind of.
they never thought about this kind of thing, right? They were not
Dude.
taught this kind of thing in school.
They're not.
Yeah, they weren't taught this kind of thing by their parents. They
Like
weren't,
you know, like what you have shared with me is that you literally have your power
yeah,
to create your wealth.
yeah,
Nobody should tell you how much you're worth,
no,
right? And that's why, you know, we're gonna really be making, you know, the waves like you said, because this isn't our livelihood, you know, like we ride bikes, we fucking build houses, like that's our livelihood, right?
Well, and a lot of what we do is not even political, right?
No.
We don't,
No.
you know, only about 10% of what we do is actually political. The rest of our lives revolve around philanthropy, right?
Yeah.
Charity, helping other people. Business, I mean, business is probably the mass majority of what we do.
Dude, did I tell you that story with my cousin, how he posted a little fucking meme on Instagram, and he was talking about how gas prices have gone up in New Jersey?
Oh, man.
So,
Man.
I mean, I was reading the comments, right? And my cousin, he's got a lot of followers, right? So he had a bunch of people talking about on both sides of the aisle, right? And you know what? Like you just started saying right there, we're not political, right? We're common sense. If you haven't seen our first podcast, we're common sense individuals, right?
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, he literally said a tidbit of how gas prices have risen in New Jersey all the way up to like $3 or some shit.
Man.
And people were actively saying in the comments that they would pay more for gas for a better leader in the Oval Office.
Well, this just goes to show how fucking stupid people are, right? So the entrepreneurs out here, the business people, we understand these things. We understand that, you know, certain policies create cheaper living costs, right? I mean, when you talk about energy expenses, you know, gas, electricity, you know, these type of things, this is a big deal in today's world. Because as business owners, every penny matters. It really does. Every penny matters to us. And so when you have jackasses out there, and I'm going to repeat that, when you have jackasses out there that they're okay with higher prices just because the other guy said a few offensive things, okay, this is how fucking stupid people are.
Yeah.
Seriously. And dude, I apologize. I can barely talk because my tooth hurts so bad, so I'm spitting all over the place. But this is literally how stupid some people are.
Dude, and that was my message to my cousin
Yeah.
because he is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He is a small business owner.
Yeah.
Right? He does construction just like we do. And his business revolves about put gas in his tank so he could get to that job site.
Yeah.
Right? And I commented, you know, no individual that has a money-minded business, right? Like us.
Generating revenue.
Yeah.
Right.
Would literally be willing to pay more money in gas and taxes to maximize their income.
Right.
You know, and I'm reading all these comments and these people, I'll pay more. I would pay $1 more in gas to have somebody who isn't so divisive
Yeah.
in the Oval
Yeah.
Office. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, so here's
Like-
my question to these people. It's like, okay,
Oh my
motherfucker,
gosh.
then why don't you pay my gas prices for me? Right? If
Right
you've got
there, man.
if you've got no problem,
Dude.
in fact, let me say this to these people. I will hire that guy. I will hire him, whatever wage he wants, $18 an hour. I will hire that guy as long as he pays the difference in my gas prices, and I take that out of his salary. Let's see what he says then.
Exactly. But that goes to show how fucking uneducated and how stupid the average American citizen is to economics.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, dude, look at AOC, man. Supposedly she has a fucking degree in economics, right? This chick, you know, she from New York State University, right? NCU or NYU, whatever the fuck. She has a degree in fucking economics, and yet she's still the dumbest bitch out there, dude.
She's bad.
Man, she's hot as shit, dude. Man, don't get me started on that shit, man. Oh my goodness, AOC. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'd hit that shit for real.
She could get it.
She could get it, dude. But she's still dumb as a fucking box of rocks, man.
Right?
And that's what it all comes down to.
That's the complete turnoff, though, right? That is the complete turnoff.
Yeah. Well, dude,
you can't even hold the fucking conversation.
Right. And here, you know, here again, at the end of the day, I actually think that she does understand economics.
Yeah,
I actually think that she's just playing the field, just like her fucking predecessor, Nancy Pelosi, has done for the last 85 years.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. I mean, you know.
Nancy started.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about Nancy.
No.
We could go a whole fucking podcast
Yeah.
about Nancy.
And you know, at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to
Negative
fucking IQ,
Nancy.
right? Yeah, negative Nancy. Man, do you know how hot she was back in the day? Man, she could have fucking gotten
still
it,
hot
dude.
right now, man.
Shoot, man, 85, man, I still let her slob on that knob, man. I'm telling you, dude.
But still, you're right, man. I mean, oh man, if you really go back to, it's not even about politics, right?
Nah.
That's not our whole thing. Our whole thing is about self-reliance.
Yeah.
Right? You generating your own revenue. Right?
And here's the thing, dude. There's so many people that don't understand it. There's so many people. Here again, man, 97% of the population, they rely on 3% of us to provide their employment for them, right? There's only 3% of the U.S. population that's self-employed. And, you know, it's really sad when you look at, you know, our tax system and the way the taxes are broken down. But business is the only thing that really matters. Self-reliance, self-employment, this is the way, if you want to become a real man and if you want to do manly things, this is one of the requirements to being a man.
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because you know,
Absolutely.
we're in a small community here.
Right?
And I actually went up to one of my neighbors the other day. He's a young dude. He's about 22 years old, 23 years old, right? And he's working some fucking dead-end job. I mean, dude, again, I'm going to put it out there how it is.
Yeah.
He's working a fucking dead-end job
Yeah.
at a warehouse packing fucking packages, right?
Yeah.
I don't know for what.
Yeah, $10
But you know
an
what?
hour? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe $10, $12, $13 an hour. But we go up to him, right? And I saw him the other day because, you know, I'm walking my dogs. And he was grilling a steak, some hamburgers or some shit. And I say, yo, my dude, how's that job going for you? It's going all right. You know, it kind of sucks. I'm like, all right, man. Well, we actually got some contracts this week that we got, you know, 2 houses to build. We got an enclosed deck, right? We got a remodel that where she wants, you know, 2 bedrooms added, a fucking extended garage. And I said, yo, my man, why don't you come work with us, you know? Like, and he was like, well, I just put in my resume to my wife's employer. And dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I held my laugh because I respect this kid. Maybe I should have laughed in his face. But he literally told me that he put in his resume with his wife's employer.
Yeah.
And he's okay with that.
So his wife is bringing in like $80K a year.
And he's okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, we won't mention where she works, but she's actually a badass, right? And, you know, a little hottie, man, a little fucking hottie, right? And she's actually doing her thing, man. I mean, she's doing, you know, I actually talked to her one time and I was like, damn, are you a feminist? And she's like, no. She's like, I'm just badass. Yeah. She's like, I'm not a feminist.
Said I'm badass.
Yeah, she's like, I'm badass.
I make my own money.
Yeah, exactly.
Money.
So she doesn't need a man, she wants a man, right?
She's
So-
one of those.
Anyway, this dude, man, you know, I can't lie. I was pretty disappointed in him because obviously, if he would have came on with us, we would have eventually set him up to become his own contractor, right? We would have set him up to become a roofer or a cider or something like that.
Whatever he shined in.
Right. We would have taught him a trade, and we would have helped him to grow into his own business, so that we could have subcontracted him instead of employed him, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna come out because I don't give a fuck anymore, right? I'm gonna call him out, straight up Sam. Right? Dude rides a Sportster.
Yeah.
Fucking wrecked it and tells me, dude, what are you doing with your bike? Dude, I got a fucking Softail right there.
Yeah.
Right? And Ken's over here, he's got a fucking full dressed out fucking Honda.
Yeah.
You know, like, dude, we're gonna ride to work every day. What are you gonna do with your bike?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna part it out. Nobody wants a wrecked bike. Oh, like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, listen, I have, you know, my heart goes out to people who go down on bikes, but you know what? At the end of the day, I truly think that as a skilled rider,
Yeah.
you need to be able to foresee some shit that's going down.
Well, right. He didn't really go down. He ran a red light, and yeah, I mean, he didn't really go down. I mean, he tagged the car while he ran through a red light because he's a dumbass. But here again, this is kind of the difference of mentality, where we are self-efficient men, and he never will be.
Yeah.
He's a young kid. I mean, you know, granted he's young, but he'll never. He doesn't have that hunger.
But this is the same example, right, of somebody that we're putting out there, just like the dude at Staples, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't talk shit. We're just putting examples out there, right?
Yeah.
For everybody to see, right? Like, I mean, fuck, man. The goal is to be completely self-reliant, right?
I mean, that's what I would think that everybody would want. I would think that everybody, but here's the thing. This goes back to, we live in a society where people are perfectly okay just existing. Mm-hmm. They're okay just existing, doing nothing more than, you know, they don't want to, they don't want to go above and beyond.
I can't
They want to
that,
do the bare minimum just to survive and just to exist.
Yeah, but dude, I follow so many people, and nobody is putting this message out there.
Because we live in a society where 97% of the society works for the 3%, and that's what I mean. I mean, dude, here's what's wrong with even people not even paying their own taxes, right? I mean, their employers pay their taxes for them, and this is part of that nanny state that's been going on for the last 105 years. Right, this is part of that mentality where people don't know what it means to be self-reliant. They don't build their own houses anymore, right? That's what they got us for. Yeah. Thank God. Right, but you know they don't.
That's why we're essential workers.
Well,
right?
that is why we're essential workers, and thank God for that. But I'm saying people are not self-reliant anymore because they don't have to be. This is all part of the industrialized world. You know, where you lose that self-reliance, you lose that ability to be self-employed, and you become dependent on other people, whether it's the government or
government.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is why it's the government's
that's what
goal.
they want,
right?
But that's what they want, man. I mean,
this is why the government had such a problem with small businesses, is because we really are the last pioneers, right? We're the last people that are willing to forge our own path, right? And this is one of those things when I say, America is done, dude. I don't care what anybody says. America is done, right? America, the minute that we lost our ingenuity, the minute that we lost our self-reliance, America is done.
And you know what, to tell you the truth, dude, like, I follow everybody out there under the sun. And that's what, you know, one of my dudes, Alex Jones, was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, he came out on Brian Stelter and Joe Biden.
No, sure.
But at the end of the day, his message, and when he said that, dude, it fucking clicked, man. He said, there is no recovering from this. And he said, America is done.
Well, and he's right.
I want to be optimistic. I know
look,
your
man,
stance.
hopefully he'll be able to sell enough vitamins to supplement his life for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I say this in all honesty. Alex Jones, I agree with him on a lot of stuff. He's a conspiracy guy, and I don't agree with some of his conspiracies. But here's the difference between me and Alex Jones, or you and Alex Jones, is that I don't need our fucking radio show to provide for our livelihood.
Well, when that's the basis of this podcast right here, right? Because
we're going to survive.
Maybe I didn't say it at the beginning, but right, most of these guys, their podcast, their voices, that is their income.
Yeah.
Right?
This isn't
our income. This isn't our income.
As brave as Alex Jones may pretend to be, and listen, man, I would love to have a conversation with Alex Jones any day of the week. Yeah. I am a Freemason.
Dude, fly your helicopter here to Georgia, man.
Yeah,
I know you went to Stephen
Alex
Crowder
Jones,
the other day,
go ahead and come here. Because here's the thing.
I
will tell Alex Jones straight up that he's a pussy.
Uh-huh.
He can talk like this and get all rowdy all he wants.
Dude, he got fucking rowdy yesterday on Brian Stelter, man.
Yeah, of course. He was behind a camera when he did it, too. And here's the problem with Alex Jones is that when it comes down to survival, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be fucking sitting in Walmart parking lot begging for food and toilet paper when the rest of us are going to actually be on our land surviving. Mm-hmm. Right? Alex Jones is not a fucking, he may be a patriot and he may have good things to say, but at the end of the day, he's a pussy.
Well, like a lot of what these guys we talk about, right? They have these national platforms, millions and millions of followers, right? I seen dude over here again. I'm gonna start calling out names: Calion Noir, Valor Ridge, and they're literally saying, read history books, look at history. I will not comply, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and
what? Those guys are the real deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, those guys are the real deal.
Those are the guys that we're looking to have conversations with, to build, that brotherhood with, because at the end of the day, man, they're Black Scout Survival.
Yeah.
They're coming for us.
Yeah.
They are coming for us.
Well, and this is where I say, man, I mean, we have to be able to, self-employed, here's the thing, going back to entrepreneurialism, we have to be able to amass enough wealth to survive the storm, right? You can only do that as a self-employed person, right? You can only do that as a small business owner. Creating enough wealth to actually survive this storm.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, they don't get it, man. Some of these guys, here again, it's nothing against Mark Levin or Sean Hannity, but some of these guys are not preaching the right message.
Yeah.
They're preaching peace and they're preaching unity.
Yeah.
That's not.
But hold on. But unity, yes, we need to unite. But behind the fucking curtain of peace.
Well, we need to kick ass, dude. We need to rise up and we need to kick ass.
But right, we need to fucking unify behind the curtain of peace.
Birds of a feather flock together.
All right,
we need to unify with the people that we have our same things in common with.
Yep.
But the other people that
the
other people that have nothing in common with us, we need to fucking beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And that's
it's like what you say. They need to be spanked like them little kids who are now following the fucking rules.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. They need a fucking mud. Like George Washington would have done, right? Shove this size 12-foot boot right up the ass of these fucking whiny little bitches.
That's it. And that's what it's going to come down to. And until we're willing to do that, here again, evil only prevails when good men do nothing.
And we can do nothing. If you're good men out there, throw some comments down there. We really want to see, because we listen to this shit all fucking day, man. I mean, we listen to all the conservative talk radio hosts, and you know what? They're good. They debunk a lot of shit, but, they're not the good men. And if you guys think you are, I want to hear some comments or even contact us.
Yeah.
But you guys are not the good men who are willing to do something.
You are the harmless men
Yeah.
who are talking a big game, but you're not walking the walk. Listen, here's the thing, man. We love all of you. We're not trying to cause ruffles.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes here.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're not going to back down either.
We're not backing down.
Yeah.
We want you guys to join, to reach out to us, have some conversations, but, we're not willing to back down and do nothing as this republic fucking folds.
Yep. We love you. Talk to us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yep. Take care, fellas.